The email wasn't meant for me. That's what started everything. A simple HR mix-up that exposed my sister's biggest betrayal. I'm Trisha, and until last Tuesday, I thought I knew exactly who my sister was. Turns out I didn't know her at all. Hey, just following up on your first week at Global Tech Singapore, the email read. Your performance reviews are outstanding, and we'd love to feature your journey in our company newsletter. I blinked at my screen, my coffee growing cold beside my keyboard. I hadn't applied to Global Tech. I definitely wasn't in Singapore. I was sitting in my cramped apartment in Boston, working my dead-end marketing job. My phone buzzed. Michaela's face lit up my screen. Hey, did you get any weird emails today? Her voice had that fake casual tone she used when she was hiding something. Funny you should ask. I kept my voice steady. Want to tell me why Global Tech thinks I'm working for them in Singapore? Silence. Then, look, I can explain. Please do. My fingers trembled as I opened another email, this one containing Michaela's employee profile. My degrees, my certifications, my work history, all under her photo. You weren't using them anyway, she said, as if that made it okay. You're just sitting in Boston doing nothing with your life, and this opportunity came up. So you stole my identity. My voice cracked. Borrowed your credentials, she corrected. Don't be dramatic. It's not like I opened credit cards in your name. I hung up and drove straight to our parents' house, where Michaela was visiting. Mom opened the door, her smile fading when she saw my face. She stole my identity, I burst out as soon as I saw Michaela lounging on the couch. She's using my credentials to work in Singapore. Lower your voice, Dad said, emerging from the kitchen. The neighbors will hear. Good, let them hear how their perfect Michaela is actually a fraud. Michaela rolled her eyes. It's already done, Trisha. What do you want me to do? Give up my dream job? Yes, I turned to our parents. Are you hearing this? Mom sighed, placing her hand on my arm. Honey, what's done is done. Making a fuss now will only hurt everyone. Think about the family. I jerked away from her touch. What about me? What about how this hurts me? It's just papers, Michaela said. You're my sister. Can't you be happy for me? I looked at their faces, Mom's pleading eyes, Dad's stern disapproval, Michaela's entitled indifference. In that moment, something inside me hardened. You're right, I said quietly. They're just papers, and I know exactly what to do with them. You're not actually considering letting her get away with this, are you? Sasha set 2 wine glasses on her coffee table with more force than necessary. Because if you are, I'm staging an intervention right now. I slumped deeper into her couch, clutching a throw pillow. My parents think I should just forget about it. Keep the peace. Your parents also thought Michaela deserved your college fund because she was more motivated. Look how that worked out. Sasha poured the wine, her bangles jingling. She used that money to party while you worked 3 jobs to graduate. My phone buzzed again, another email from Global Tech. This time, it was a meeting invitation for next week's team presentation. I showed it to Sasha. Perfect, she said, a glint in her eye. Reply to them. Tell them everything. But my parents, will get over it. Remember when Michaela borrowed your car and totaled it? Who got blamed for being selfish about wanting compensation? Who had to take the bus for 8 months? I sat up straighter, memories flooding back. You're right, this ends now. I opened my laptop and started typing. Dear Ms. Fisher, I need to inform you of a serious situation. I am the real Trisha, whose credentials are being used by my sister, Michaela, to work at your Singapore office. I have attached proof of my identity and documentation showing the theft of my credentials. Add the screenshots, Sasha urged, reading over my shoulder. And your LinkedIn profile. My finger hovered over the send button. This will destroy her career. She destroyed that herself when she decided to commit fraud. Sasha squeezed my shoulder. You're not the bad guy here. I hit send. The response came within hours. Subject line, urgent, identity fraud investigation. Holy shit, Sasha whispered as we read. They're launching a full investigation. They want to video call you tomorrow. My phone started ringing. Michaela. Don't answer it, Sasha warned. I declined the call. Immediately, text messages started flooding in. Michaela. What did you do? Michaela. My boss just called me into a meeting tomorrow. Michaela. Answer your phone. Mum. Please call us immediately. This is getting out of hand. Dad. Fix this. Now. I turned off my phone. Stay here tonight, Sasha offered. You can do the video call from my home office tomorrow. Thanks. I finished my wine in one gulp. You know what's crazy? For the first time in my life, I don't feel guilty about standing up to her. Sasha refilled my glass with a smile. That's not crazy. That's called growing a backbone, and it looks good on you. I have to say, Ms. Sanderson, this is one of the most brazen cases of identity theft I've encountered. Brad Jordan's face filled my laptop screen, his Singapore office visible behind him. Beside him, Zaylee from HR looked equally troubled. Please call me Trisha, I said, grateful for Sasha's reassuring presence just off camera. And I'm sorry you've been put in this position. You're apologizing to us? Zaylee shook her head. Your sister used your credentials to secure a position paying over 6 figures. She's the one who should be apologizing. Has she? Brad asked. No. I straightened my blazer. She thinks I'm being dramatic about the whole thing. Well, we take fraud very seriously, Brad said. We've already started termination proceedings. The authorities will be notified and... My phone buzzed. Another text from Michaela. They're firing me. Hope you're happy now. I switched my phone to silent. There's something else. Zaylee leaned forward. Harper Industries reached out to us about the situation. Their CEO, Miles Harper, would like to speak with you. Harper Industries, I echoed. Your biggest competitor? Apparently they appreciate integrity, Brad said dryly. They asked for your contact information. We felt obligated to inform you, given the circumstances. After the call ended, Sasha burst into the room. Harper Industries? The same company that just made Forbes' 30 under 30 list for their CEO. This is insane. I checked my email. Sure enough, there was already a message from Miles Harper's office. They want to meet tomorrow. Wear the blue dress, Sasha ordered. The one that makes you look like a boss. My phone screen lit up with a FaceTime request from my mother. I answered before I could think better of it. Michaela's being deported, Mum's voice was shrill. They're cancelling her work visa. How could you do this to your own sister? How could she do this to me? I shot back. She made one mistake. No, Mom. She made a choice. Multiple choices. And now she's facing the consequences. We raised you better than this, she snapped. Did you? Because you raised her to think she could take whatever she wanted from me. The silence that followed was deafening. I have a meeting to prepare for, I said finally. I'll call you later. After hanging up, I opened the email from Harper Industries. The subject line read, Opportunity for Discussion, Senior Marketing Director Position. Sasha whistled over my shoulder. Now, that's what I call karma. It's not karma, I said, a smile tugging at my lips. It's consequences. Miles Harper's office made Global Tech look like a startup in someone's garage. Floor-to-ceiling windows offered a panoramic view of Boston, and his desk probably cost more than my car. So, he said, leaning back in his chair, you're the one who exposed the fraud at Global Tech. That wasn't my intention, I replied. I was just standing up for yourself. He smiled. That's exactly why you're here. We need people who aren't afraid to do the right thing, even when it's difficult. He slid a folder across his desk. The salary figure made me choke on my water. That's triple what I'm making now. It's what you're worth. He tapped the paper. Global Tech was willing to pay your sister this much for your credentials. I'm willing to pay you this much for your actual skills and integrity. My phone vibrated. Dad's name flashed on the screen. Do you need to get that? No. I turned the phone face down. Family drama. Ah, yes, the sister situation. He folded his hands. I know it can't be easy, choosing between family loyalty and professional integrity. They think I'm being vindictive. Are you? I met his gaze. Maybe, but does that make me wrong? He laughed. I like your honesty. The position is yours if you want it. We'll need you to start immediately. We have a major campaign launching next month. Before I could respond, my office phone rang. My current boss's name popped up. Take it, Miles said. I have a feeling I know what it's about. Hello? Trisha, why is Global Tech's HR department calling me about your credentials? My boss's voice was sharp. Something about your sister? I looked at Miles, who was trying not to smile. Actually, I said, I quit. I hung up and signed the contract Miles had pushed toward me. Welcome to Harper Industries, he said, shaking my hand. Your sister did you a favor, you know. Without her theft, we might never have found you. Walking out of the building, I had 15 missed calls and twice as many texts. I opened the most recent one from my mother. Your father and I are coming over tonight. This has to stop. You're tearing this family apart. I texted back, can't tonight. Have to prepare for my new job. Starting tomorrow at Harper Industries as Senior Marketing Director. The response was immediate. This isn't funny anymore, Trisha. It was never funny, Mom, but for once, I'm not the punchline. I turned my phone off and headed to Sasha's place. I had a resignation letter to write and a new wardrobe to shop for. Sometimes the best revenge isn't getting even, it's getting ahead. Your campaign proposal is brilliant, Miles said, closing my presentation folder. 2 weeks into my new job, and I was already making waves. The board's going to love this. A knock at my office door interrupted his praise. His assistant looked apologetic. Sorry to interrupt, but you might want to see this. She handed me her tablet. On the screen was a local news article. Rising executive's sister faces fraud charges in international identity theft scandal. Well, Miles said, reading over my shoulder. Looks like the story broke. My phone started buzzing. Michaela's number. Take it, Miles suggested. I'll give you some privacy. I answered on the third ring. Hello? They're pressing charges. Michaela's voice was raw. Criminal charges, Trisha. I could go to jail. Is that what you wanted? What did you expect would happen? I expected my sister to have my back. She was crying now. Mum and Dad lost their deposit on my Singapore apartment. I'm back living in their spare room. My career is over. You did that to yourself. Please, she whispered, help me fix this. You could tell them you gave me permission to steal my identity, to take credit for my degrees. I gripped the phone tighter. No, I won't lie for you, not anymore. Fine, her voice hardened. But remember this moment when you're all alone with your fancy new job. Hope it keeps you warm at night. I was still staring at my phone when Sasha burst in. Your parents are in the lobby, she said breathlessly. Security called up. I straightened my designer blazer, the first thing I'd bought with my new salary. Send them up. They looked out of place in my corner office, Mom in her Target cardigan, Dad in his worn jeans. Happy now? Mum's voice trembled. Your sister's life is ruined. She ruined her own life. I gestured to the chairs across from my desk. They remained standing. We raised you to protect each other, Dad said. No. I stood up. You raised me to protect her, to give up my college fund, my car, my opportunities. Not anymore. You've changed, Mom said accusingly. Yes, I have. I walked to the window, looking out at the city. I'm successful now, independent, and you're both furious because for once, you can't guilt me into giving that up for Michaela. She's your sister, and I'm your daughter, but you've never protected me the way you protect her. They left without saying goodbye. Minutes later, my phone lit up with a text from Michaela. Can we talk? In person, please? I stared at the message for a long time before replying. Tomorrow, noon, the cafe on Berkeley Street. Sometimes the hardest part of standing your ground is facing the people who never thought you would. Michaela was already at the cafe when I arrived, her designer handbag, probably bought with her fraudulent Global Tech salary, perched on the table. She'd been crying. Her mascara was smudged. "You look expensive," she said as I sat down, eyeing my new clothes. "I can afford it now." I ordered a black coffee. "What do you want, Michaela?" "To understand why you're doing this to me." She leaned forward. "We're sisters. We're supposed to help each other. Like you helped yourself to my credentials. I saw an opportunity. You saw my accomplishments and decided to steal them." The coffee arrived. I wrapped my hands around the warm mug. "Do you know how hard I worked for those degrees? Working 3 jobs while you partied through college with my college fund." "That's not fair. Mum and Dad aren't the ones who committed fraud." I cut her off. "This isn't about them. It's about you thinking you had the right to take what's mine. I was desperate." Tears spilled down her cheeks. "Everyone expected me to be successful, to make something of myself. You don't know what that pressure feels like." I laughed, the sound harsh even to my own ears. "I don't know about pressure. Who do you think they compared you to when you were partying? Why can't you be focused like Trisha? But the moment you wanted something I had, they expected me to hand it over." "I'm sorry," she whispered. "I really am. But please, the charges—" "No." I stood up. "I'm done cleaning up your messes. Face the consequences for once in your life." "You bitch." Her voice rose, drawing stares from nearby tables. "You think you're better than me now with your fancy job and expensive clothes? You're nothing but a vindictive, jealous—" "Jealous?" I grabbed my bag. "I'm not the one who had to steal someone else's life to feel successful." "Mom's right, you've changed." "Yes, I have. And you know what? I like who I've become." As I turned to leave, she called out, "There's a reporter asking questions about our family, about the fraud. Is that what you want? Our family's dirty laundry in the media?" I stopped. "You know what's funny, Michaela? For once, I'm not the family disappointment. How does it feel?" Walking out, I heard her burst into fresh tears. My phone buzzed, a news alert. The story was spreading. By tomorrow, everyone would know what Michaela had done. For the first time, I didn't feel guilty about not protecting her. Sometimes love means letting people face the consequences of their actions, even if those people are family, especially if they're family. "The story's gone viral," Sasha announced, dropping a stack of newspapers on my desk. "You're trending on LinkedIn as a fraud prevention success story." I scrolled through my phone. The headlines were everywhere. Identity theft between sisters rocks corporate world. Rising executive exposes siblings' international fraud. Family ties, when blood isn't thicker than ethics. "Your sister's trending too," Sasha added carefully, "but not in a good way." My email pinged. Another interview request, this time from a major business magazine. They wanted to feature me in their Women in Leadership section. "Ms. Sanderson," my assistant poked her head in, "Mr. Harper wants to see you. The board loved your campaign." In Miles's office, he was beaming. "The story's actually helping us. Companies are reaching out about our ethical hiring practices. We're being called a champion of corporate integrity." "And my sister's being called much worse," I said quietly. "Having second thoughts?" "No." I straightened my shoulders. "Just processing." My phone lit up with a text from Mom. "Michaela's court date is set for next month. The lawyer says she's looking at possible jail time. Please, Trisha, help her." Before I could respond, another text came through, from Dad. "Your mother's had to start taking anxiety medication. Is this what you wanted?" "Everything okay?" Miles asked. "Family stuff." I put my phone away. "The campaign launches tomorrow. We should focus on that." Later that evening, as I was leaving the office, a reporter was waiting in the lobby. "Ms. Sanderson, how does it feel to be called a whistleblower? Any comment on your sister's upcoming trial? Sources say your parents are devastated. Care to respond?" I pushed past him into my waiting Uber, but not before catching sight of the evening news playing in the lobby. There was Michaela, looking small and scared, being led into a courthouse. Our parents flanked her, Mom crying, Dad shielding their faces from cameras. At home, I poured a glass of wine and opened my laptop. My inbox was flooded with messages, some praising my courage, others condemning my betrayal of family. One caught my eye. A LinkedIn message from Brad at Global Tech. Your story inspired us to overhaul our verification process. You've probably prevented countless others from becoming victims of identity theft. Thank you. My phone buzzed again. This time, it was Sasha. Turn on Channel 7 now. There I was, in a crisp business suit, walking into Harper Industries. The caption read, "From victim to victor, how one woman turned corporate fraud into career success." I turned off the TV and walked to my window, looking out at the city lights. Success felt different than I'd imagined. It tasted like victory, yes, but also like loss, like growing up, like truth. The courthouse steps were crowded with reporters as Michaela emerged, pale but composed. Community service, hefty fines, and a suspended sentence. The judge had been surprisingly lenient, citing her previous clean record and early guilty plea. "Trisha?" She spotted me at the back of the crowd. "I didn't think you'd come." "I almost didn't." I stepped forward. "But we need to finish this, properly." Mom and Dad hovered uncertainly behind her. They hadn't spoken to me since that day in my office. "I'm sorry," Michaela said, her voice breaking, "not because I got caught, but because I finally understand what I took from you. Your achievements weren't just papers to steal. They were years of your life." "Yes, they were. I have to start over now." She wiped her eyes. "Actually earn things for myself. It's terrifying." "It's called being an adult." Mom stepped forward. "Trisha, I owe you an apology too. We always pushed you to protect Michaela, but we never protected you." "We were wrong," Dad added. "It took all this for us to see it." I took a deep breath. I don't want to be angry anymore, but I can't go back to being the person who sacrifices everything to keep the peace. "We don't want you to," Mom said. "We're proud of who you've become, even if it took us too long to say it." My phone buzzed. Miles was calling, probably about tomorrow's board meeting where I'd be presenting our quarterly results. My results. My work. My success. "I have to take this," I said. "But maybe we could have dinner next week. Start small?" "I'd like that," Michaela said. "I'll be job hunting anyway. Starting at the bottom this time. Actually," I pulled a business card from my purse. "One of our subsidiary companies is hiring entry-level marketing assistants. No guarantees, but if you want to earn your own way." She took the card, hands trembling. "Why would you help me? After everything?" "Because I'm choosing to, not because anyone's forcing me." I straightened my jacket. "Don't make me regret it." Walking to my car, I heard Mom call out, "We love you, Trisha." "I love you too," I called back, "even when I don't like you very much." That made them laugh. A real laugh, not the strained kind we'd been sharing for years. My phone buzzed again. This time it was Sasha. "Drinks tonight. We should celebrate." "Celebrate what?" I texted back. "Moving forward, starting fresh, being strong. Take your pick." I smiled, feeling lighter than I had in months. "How about celebrating all of it? Sometimes the happy ending isn't about forgetting the past. It's about building something new from its ashes. Something stronger, something real."